Hello everybody, thank you for joining me for part 1 of your weekend love reading for the weekend of May 1st to May 3rd, 2020. This reading is going to be for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. I would just like to say thank you everybody who's shown so much support for me taking a little break that I took. Really grateful for the kind messages and everything. I haven't gotten back to everybody, but there's been a lot of nice support and kind messages, and I'm really grateful for it. I realized that I never really gave myself any time to actually rest. Once all the stuff started happening with the quarantines and the lockdowns, I just kind of kept going. I never really took a second to take a step back from everything and just kind of breathe and work on some creative projects and things of the sort. So I'm really grateful for everybody that's shown the support, but I am happy to be back because I do miss reading tarot. So we're going to go ahead and take a deep breath to connect deeper with our higher selves in spirit. Call to spirit to place on myself and anyone watching this to hear, see, and know anything we need to hear, see, and know for the weekend of May 1st to May 3rd, 2020, keeping in mind this can apply at any time you watch it. Hello Aries, hope you're doing well. This can apply to any Aries placement you have in your chart. If you're a cross watcher, I do not judge you, but keep in mind that while you may not have an Aries placement, you will have Aries in one of your houses. That said, keep in mind time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply to you and another person or vice versa. Don't force it if it doesn't fit. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That said, we're going to go ahead and do 3 shuffles to get into your energies for the weekend of May 1st to May 3rd, 2020 in love. Keeping in mind, this can apply any time you watch it. Okay, what do we have for the Aries? So we have the Tower. I thought there was a card behind it. So we have the Tower, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles reverse. Oh, excuse me, 10 of Cups reverse. Uh-oh. The Universe. Under that we have the 2 of Cups. Let me go ahead and leave it there. Straighten these out. So if we're taking a look at these overall energies here, we have the Universe and the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups to me can represent a type of inner union, the union between inner masculine and feminine energies, understanding that we all have those. But what it's looking like right now is like the universe is kind of forcing you to, I guess, audit your life in some kind of ways, really determine what it is you think makes you happy opposed to what you know makes you happy. If that makes sense, in understanding if you're choosing people and situations out of some type of obligation or responsibility. But it's like this energy of like you were going against your own intuition for so long that the universe is kind of starting to tear things away from your life that are really no longer serving any other purpose than to keep you in a state of disharmony and imbalance. Because when I see the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups reverse, to me that represents kind of being stuck in a karmic cycle or coming to the end of that karmic cycle. But it's more so not fully recognizing it yet. Like if it were in the upright, that could represent, wish fulfillment, you recognizing the karmic cycles that are closing out emotionally. But I feel like more than anything, if we're touching on the wish fulfillment aspect of this, given it's in the reverse with the 4 of Pentacles here, it's like you're being asked by the universe to determine what it is you actually want out of a relationship, and understanding if you're choosing people out of some sense of obligation. We're going to go ahead and clarify it though. So clarifying the Tower, we have the King of Wands. Clarifying 4 of Pentacles, we have the 6 of Swords. Clarifying the 10 of Cups reverse, we have the Moon. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, and I'm going to go ahead and take this 8 of Swords, clarifying bottom of the deck energies. I mean, we have counterparts on the table. We do have the King and the Queen. They are different suits, but they are on the table. And it's this energy of really moving past a lot of the small arguments. I feel like We're looking at this now in terms of a relationship, so considering this may be you and another person, the energy between you two right now looks like an energy of moving past some of the deeply held emotional trauma that, whether they were tied to each other or not, that seems like it's being moved past. That's what I'm seeing with the Six of Swords and the Moon, because the Six of Swords is representative of moving to the calmer waters, and I'm hearing the phrase, pick your battles, and that's what I'm seeing with this Four of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. It's like you're learning what to let go of and what to talk about in terms of, I don't know, working through various issues and things of this sort. But it's looking like you and this person are starting to come to an understanding of what it was in the relationship that was causing things to make you both feel unfulfilled, recognizing ways in which you both may have been acting out of traumatic bias. Especially with this Eight of Swords, you're kind of seeing the ways in which you've trapped each other in the relationship by holding each other to particular expectations aside from what it is that's actually being presented in the relationship. It's like you were both looking at each other through the eyes of your trauma instead of seeing each other for what is really being provided to you and the other person in the relationship. Yeah, I don't really feel like there's much else coming out. I'm going to go ahead and get a closing message here for you, Aries. So closing message for Aries, we have the Wild Boar. Wild Boar says, whatever tradition or others expect of you, only to yourself be true. To me, this feels like an energy of really needing to step away from the expectations of the other person and recognizing that whether it's you or this other person, there's a sense of needing to understand that there is a sense of looking at each other through the lens of your trauma. And by recognizing such, you're able to kind of step out of that kind of cycle of karmic entanglement, if that makes sense, and really just staying true to yourself. So recognizing the fact that, like, if something with somebody keeps going the same direction, let's say you keep having the same arguments and they're very reminiscent of either something you've been through or maybe they're recreating something they've been through, you kind of have to recognize that and understand when it's okay to step away. And I think that's where that whole phrase, pick your battles, comes in. It's recognizing when to discuss something and when to kind of lay something to rest in terms of something that's been repeating, right? That said, that's all I have for you, Aries. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to jzargoshepard@gmail.com. I love you so much. Stay safe, stay calm out there, and I will see you in your next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, Taurus. Hope you're doing well. Keep in mind this can apply to any Taurian placement you have in your chart. If you're a cross-watcher, I do not judge you, but keep in mind that while you may not have a Taurian placement, you will have Taurus on one of your houses. That said, I do implore you to have your chart open while we do this reading. Keep in mind that time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply to you and another person and vice versa. Don't force if it doesn't fit, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That said, we're going to do 3 shuffles and get into your energies for the weekend of May 1st to May 3rd, 2020 in love, keeping in mind it can apply at any time you watch. For you, Taurus, what do we have? So for Taurus, we have the Fool, we have the King of Wands, we have the 2 of Pentacles reversed, and then we have the Queen of Wands here with the 5 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. So this definitely feels like the energy between you and another person. It can be a masculine and feminine counterpart type of situation, since we have the counterparts on the table. Can be a soulmate situation, can honestly be whatever resonates with you. But if we're taking a look at this overall energy here with the Queen of Wands, 5 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, and 4 of Swords, to me this is a very independent, restful type of energy. It's like in order for this to come into balance with this person, you're going to need to take a step back and focus on your independence a little bit. Like especially with this 9 of Pentacles here, 9 of Pentacles to me is a very physically abundant card, yes, but it also represents needing to come into a sense of independence, especially in the physical realms. And given this is Taurus season and this is a Taurus reading, I feel like this is the perfect time for that. I feel like this 4 of Swords is a very Taurian energy in the sense that it's a very flowy, restful, rejuvenating type of energy. So what I'm seeing particularly in this situation with this person is in order for this conflict to be laid to rest, in order to step away from some of these difficulties with this person, there's going to need to be a sense of independence on both parts. right? Especially with the full energy. It's like a new opportunity does want to come forward. Whether you or this other person is choosing to do so, it looks like a mutual decision. I think it's going to be more autonomous this time around, and if you are talking to somebody and it's starting to take a new direction, I think it's going to be for a healthy reason. I mean, as long as it's not like a toxic type of environment you're in with this person, I feel like the energy here is definitely going to be favorable of a new beginning, but at the benefit of both of you this time. It doesn't really feel like there's going to be a lot of personal sacrifice in this. It feels like you're going to get a little bit of freedom through these dynamic shifts. We're going to go ahead and clarify here for you though, Taurus. We have the Two of Swords clarifying the Fool. Between these we have the Justice card. Between these we have the Four of Pentacles reverse. And we have the Five of Cups reverse and the Emperor reverse. So this could very well be a twin flame situation. When I see the Emperor or the Empress, to me that indicates a twin flamey type of energy, but it can also represent your inner masculine and feminine energies, in this case being the masculine because we have the Emperor. But I am seeing a lot of a balance type of energy. So we have a lot of twos on this table. We have the Justice holding the scales of justice, representative of a Libra. We do have the Two of Pentacles here in the reverse, but we also have the Two of Swords. So when I see this many twos, I mean, we have 2, 2, 2. This can represent needing to kind of let the universe do its thing, give a little bit more trust to the universe, and stop worrying so much about how things are going to turn out, and recognize that as long as you stay true to yourself and as long as you keep your intentions pure, things are going to work out for the best of everybody involved. And there's really no sense on dwelling whatever hasn't worked out in the past. Like, if the dynamics are shifting between you and this person, there's no sense on dwelling on it with this Five of Cups reverse. You got to kind of step out of that Five of Cups reverse energy and learn to appreciate what it is you do have. So it's like kind of letting go of the old paradigms of this relationship and the old ideals you may have projected into this relationship, and really just learning to appreciate it for what it's blossoming into. And by doing so, it's going to bring a peaceful resolution between you and this other person. It's a very beautiful energy, but I do feel like whoever this masculine energy is, it could be this King of Pentacles, or excuse me, Queen of Wands. But with the Emperor reversed here clarifying, I guess it would be the overall energy. I feel like this is a message and lesson for your internal masculine energies. And I feel like a big reason this is coming forward for you right now is to let go of control, especially during your season, during Taurus season. This is a lot of the times when we'll face lessons that are associated with that particular placement because it's strongest at that time. Given the fact that you're going to have plenty of other aspects and plenty of other placements that are going to affect what it is you're experiencing, I feel like that's kind of an overarching theme right now, given Taurus is a very feminine energy, given it is earthly, earth being a feminine energy in the tarot. It is a very feminine type of energy, and so right now you're kind of learning to balance your masculine aspects and really learning to take your power back in a way that's not going to be toxic towards other people involved. Let's get a closing message here for you, Taurus. Closing message here for Taurus, we have the Scarab Beetle. It says, what is unregarded or discarded holds a secret, a seed of creation. So I feel like this is really needing to look at the deeper meaning of what's being taken away from you right now. I just keep seeing a situation where the dynamics are shifting and you don't feel very happy about it, but it's because you're not looking at the new opportunity this is actually presenting to you. Even though it may not look the way you want it to on the outside, I feel like there are some really deep lessons being presented to you right now, and it's really going to help you come to a peaceful resolution within yourself. It doesn't always have to be with another person. I feel like this is what's going to help that masculine balance, is by letting go of the control and letting the universe help you out a little bit. You're going to finally step out of this kind of dwelling type of energy, this woe is me, victim mentality type of energy, and you're really going to start seeing the beautiful opportunities presented to you right now in this situation, and it's going to bleed over into all areas of your life. It's not just going to be applicable to love, even though this is a love reading. I feel like they're all intertwined, so however things are going in one aspect of your life often gets us to look at every other aspect and determine what it is we can walk away from, step away from, boost up, strengthen, whatever it is. And it's going to usually help us build us up into the best versions of ourselves in each moment, should we decide to grow in that way. But that said, that is all I have for you, Taurus. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to jzargoshepard@gmail.com. I love you so much. Stay safe, stay calm out there. Have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you in your next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, Gemini. You're doing well. Keep in mind this can apply to any Gemini placement you have in your chart. If you're a cross-watcher, I do not judge you, but keep in mind that while you may not have a Gemini placement, you will have Gemini in one of your houses. That said, I do implore you to have your chart open while we do this reading. Keep in mind that time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply to you and another person and vice versa. Don't force it if it doesn't fit. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That said, we're going to do 3 shuffles to get into your energies for the weekend of May 1st to May 3rd, 2020 in love. Keeping in mind this can apply at any time you watch it. Get the deck. What do we got for you, Gemini? Almost called you Cancer. Excuse me. Here we go. 9 of Cups reverse. Princess of Wands reverse. 2 of Cups reverse. 10 of Swords. And Ace of Swords reverse. I'm going to actually go and pull this Moon reverse here too. So immediately I'm hearing you need to listen to the voice of your shadow. And I feel like that's what's going to help you see things clearly. And what I mean by listening to the voice of your shadow, it really just means doing the inner work and doing some soul searching, doing some shadow work. If you're not familiar with shadow work is basically just healing your trauma, facing some of the difficult emotions that come up for you, really not shying away from the darker parts of yourself and the shadow aspects of yourself that you feel like are coming to light for a reason. I feel like integration is integral to your own personal balance within mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of your experience. I'm feeling like you need to kind of step away from a lot of the self-indulgence right now. I feel like you're being overly self-indulgent, and I feel like there may have been something that have fallen away. I feel like there was a breakup, or there was something that happened, some kind of turmoil between you and another person, and that may be what is causing you to be in this state of over self-indulgence with this 9 of Cups reverse. But it's like you're not seeing things clearly. That's what I'm seeing with this 10 of Swords and the Ace of Swords reverse with the Moon reverse. It's like your intense emotions are clouding the fact that there are some truths being revealed to you right now, and the reason you're not seeing them is because you're either not acknowledging the deeper emotions, or you're kind of taking them at face value without taking a deeper look at what it is they're trying to show you. You're just like, oh, I feel bad, it'll pass. Instead of being like, okay, I'm feeling bad. Well, why am I feeling bad? What does that tie to? Is this tied to this person? And if so, how does that tie back into my past, my personal traumas and relationship experiences? You know, what way can you take a deeper look at what's being presented to you right now without completely disregarding the fact that you should be allowed to take a break too, right? Because once it does get a little bit intense, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to not do the work 24/7, but it's like you do still have to do the work, and that's what I'm seeing here for you, Gemini. It's like this 10 of Swords to me tells me you're coming to the end of this, like really burdensome cycle, but I feel like the light at the end of the tunnel is only going to be reached should you decide to put in the work internally, right? Clarifying for you though. Alright, Gemini, clarifying message here for you. We have the 9 of Swords reverse. We have the Page of Pentacles reverse. We have the 2 of Pentacles reverse. Bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Pentacles. And then we have the Moon reverse coming out again. So, to me, the Moon reverse represents the Sun. And that's what I'm going to take this as right here. Because we have the 10 of Pentacles clarified by the Moon reverse. You may be in a difficult space. You may have had a falling out with a fire sign or an earth sign. There may be a group of friends that are giving you a hard time for whatever it is that you've walked away from, or maybe you're in a situation where the relationship you just got out of is tied to like a group of people that you were all cool with, and now the dynamics have kind of shifted, and maybe people are taking sides, and maybe you've been left out of the group or whatever it is that's coming through for you right now. That's kind of what I'm picking up on. And it's this really disappointed type of energy. It's like this energy of recognizing the fact that there was really never any equality within the connection, especially within the dynamics between the friends and between, I guess, the dynamics between the friends, the relationship, and everything in between, right? So it's feeling like a lot of that is kind of crumbling away right now, and I feel like the reason for that is to start to bring you towards people, places, and situations that are going to be more conducive to your authentic self, and you're going to recognize this when you start to meet new people. Once you really start to let go from some of these difficult situations and these difficult pains and traumas, it's going to show you that there were some beautiful opportunities on their way to you this whole time, right? But it's going to take you taking a step back and really not focusing so much on the losses, but focusing on building that Ten of Pentacles, right? Like recognizing the universe is trying to support you, but you need to meet the universe halfway. So really start bringing yourself back into balance, you know, one step at a time. It doesn't have to be a constant thing. Like I said, you're allowed to take breaks, but you know, don't stop doing the work. Make sure you are doing the work, putting yourself in a position that's going to allow you to uphold what it is that is coming into your life. It's going to allow you to embrace the new relationships and the new connections and situations, career paths. I mean, anything and everything that is associated with a pentacle type of energy. It's a very abundant type of energy. So it's like, okay, look, it's like, yeah, things may be difficult right now, but there's definitely some abundance coming towards you, but you need to be open to receive that. And by doing so, it's going to allow you to let go of some of these difficult aspects you may be experiencing. We're going to go ahead and get a closing message here for you, Gemini. Closing message here for Gemini, we have the Wild Horse. The Wild Horse says, speak your passion aloud and defend those whom you love in word and deed. I feel like this is recognizing the need to stand up for yourself more than anything. I know it does say speak your passion aloud and defend those whom you love in word and deed. I guess, you know, that can apply to you loving yourself and recognizing the fact that you shouldn't have to be at the hand of other people who don't really know you or your situation, right? Let's say you had a falling out with somebody in that friend group that was coming out earlier. Maybe they're all talking behind your back, maybe they're vague posting or subtweeting or whatever it is they're doing, and it's causing a lot of drama within your own personal mental space. And it's needing to really just stand up for yourself and stick up for what it is you believe in. And I think a lot of the times that can often represent the need to step away from those type of dynamics. And by doing so, we're standing up for ourselves through our refusal to give those situations energy, by us loving ourselves enough to recognize the fact that associating with those types of situations is only going to keep us in that same state of karmic, cyclical, emotional turmoil type of situations. And that's also what I'm seeing with this Ten of Pentacles. It's like that can represent the karmic cycles coming to an end, especially in the physical realms. And so I was really learning to just walk away from anything that's keeping you in a place of mental entanglement or keeping you feeling emotionally distraught when you really know there's no reason to be, especially if everything's already kind of settled and cleared and there's still people trying to kick up dust. It's like, no, like you got to kind of step back and just let people do what they do and they'll figure it out eventually, but you really got to take care of yourself is what I'm seeing here, Gemini. But that said, that is all I have for you. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to jzargoshepard@gmail.com. I love you so much. Stay safe and stay calm out there, but I will see you in your next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, Cancer. Hope you're doing well. Keep in mind this can apply to any Cancerian placement you have in your chart. If you're a cross-watcher, I do not judge you, but do keep in mind that while you may not have a Cancerian placement, you will have Cancer in one of your houses. That said, I do employ you to have your chart open while we do this reading. Keep in mind time and energy are fluid, so these messages can apply to you, another person, and vice versa. Don't force it if it doesn't fit. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. That said, we're going to do 3 shuffles and get into your energies for the weekend of May 1st to May 3rd, 2020 in love. Keeping in mind this can apply at any time you watch it. Okay, Cancer. So one of my cards are tearing. Oh no. Well, no, my 3 of Swords is tearing. I guess that's kind of fitting given what a 3 of Swords is, right? So we have the 3 of Swords, we have the Sun reverse, we have the King of Swords reverse, and what is it, the 5 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, and the Prince of Swords. Let me go and actually take this here too. The 6 of Wands. That was at the bottom of the deck. Alrighty, let's straighten these out for you. I'm seeing somebody that has been left out in the cold. I feel like somebody has been rejected. There may have been some communication that has come through, but maybe it wasn't the nicest communication. We do have a King of Swords reverse on the table. This can represent another person. It can be an air sign, but we also have the Prince of Swords right under that. This can be multiple people. I do feel like this is aspects of the masculine energy, keeping in mind it's not gender specific. But the fact that we do have the 3 of Swords here, it does feel like a heartbroken type of energy. Yes, we had the Sun reverse, can represent the moon. can represent the emotions we don't show really anybody but ourselves, the deeper aspects of ourselves that only we really know. You may be feeling like you're trapped right now. You may be feeling like the universe is working against you. You may be curious as to why this person walked away or why they said what they said. Maybe this is you needing to leave somebody else out in the cold. Maybe you're the one that's walked away. Maybe you were feeling trapped in this situation and you've decided, you know what, I think I'm going to take my chances elsewhere. I'm going to kind of step back. This has already caused a lot of heartbreak within both of you, it looks like. But I feel like it's a healthy thing to recognize that and to step away when necessary. We're going to go ahead and clarify for you. Okay, Cancer, clarifying the Three of Swords being the Two of Cups reverse. Definitely a breakup. Feels like a breakup's happened. We have the Strength reverse, Three of Cups. Could have been a third party. We have Justice reverse. And we have the Two of Swords reverse. Yeah, so it really feels like something happened between you and another person. I think maybe somebody may have cheated. It's looking like this has already kind of come to an end. And I feel like you're just now dealing with the aftermath of that. I feel like there were definitely some injustices that were made, that were had, I suppose. Specifically with the Justice reverse and the Two of Swords reverse, I feel like right now, you may just be feeling like this is very unfair. You're like, why did this happen? Why did this person do that? How come they get to walk away and do whatever it is they're doing? But recognizing the fact that, like, if somebody's really done you dirty, they're going to get what's theirs, and you really don't have to have any part of that. And so I think the main message for you right now, Cancer, is to really just focus on rebuilding your life, focus on rebuilding your self-esteem, focus on just rebuilding your own inner strength, and just really understanding that it's okay to still be heartbroken over something. Even if this ended a while ago, maybe this is something you're healing from. Maybe these are things that are coming up for you right now. And you're kind of just like, you know, doing a little review of your relationships and everything you've been through. And maybe it's bringing up some emotions you thought you healed and recognizing that it's okay. Like, it's totally normal. It's something that happens during any kind of shadow work, really. It's like it's layers and layers to this that will often come up for you to process. And a lot of the times, while we do have a say of when to step back, we really don't always have control of what it is that wants to come up for healing. So it's really learning to find that balance between shadow work and, you know, taking a step back from that, but recognizing the fact that if you are revisiting something, that doesn't mean you aren't healed or that you haven't healed it or that you haven't done the work. It just means there may be another aspect that needs to be looked at before you move forward. Let's go ahead and get a clarifying closing message here for you. Okay, Cancer, closing message here. We have the Kangaroo. Kangaroo says, as events take on their own momentum, you take a true leap forward. I really feel like this represents the need to detach. I feel like this is an overarching theme for the collective right now. It's a message really needing to detach from anything in our lives that is causing emotional discontentment or is just really draining us where we don't need to be drained. Not necessarily speaking on the aspects of our lives themselves, but more so recognizing our own limitations and when it is our time to take a step back. Not only from the shadow work, but from just life in general. I feel like a lot of the times we just push ourselves without really thinking of the consequences of that. Especially if it's something we enjoy, we will continue to push ourselves and to continue to do the thing, or in the context of a relationship, maybe we're just trying something over and over again, hoping that it's going to work with this person, but you know, it just ends up in the same place every time, and it's kind of recognizing the fact that either you need to shift the way you're doing this with this person, or you need to completely just do away with idealizing that aspect of the connection with this person, or recognize that, you know, maybe it wasn't meant to be that type of relationship. Maybe the romantic aspect wasn't working out so well, so maybe it's time to shift it to a more platonic dynamic in order for things to kind of balance out, in order for you to really step past this heartbreak, right? Maybe you kind of had a falling out with this person, or maybe you were in a type of situationship and it's making you feel distraught because you're continually trying to force a commitment on somebody who clearly isn't committal. Again, this can be you or the other person. But I feel like more than anything is really needing to go with the flow. It's needing to take a step back to observe what it is you're feeling and to not really act upon some of those deeper emotions just yet until you have a deeper understanding of what it is that is being shown to you through your emotions. But that said, that is all I have for you, Cancer. If you'd like to book a personal reading, please send me an email to jzargoshepard@gmail.com. I love you so much. Stay safe, stay calm out there. Have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you in part 2 if you decide to watch it. But I will actually have part 2 and part 3 in the description because this is the end of part 1. So yeah, I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye.